Good morning. Today is Wednesday, March 25th. On your calendars, it is day 8. So you could look at your day 8 cover sheet today for everything that you would need to get done today. Another little thing here. This is about the halfway point of our 3-week shutdown here. So we're getting through it. We got a little bit more to go. Hopefully, we'll get to see each other here in about a week and a half, but who knows. Before we get started today, I do want to give a couple shout outs. A couple of my friends kind of gave me this idea. So, we know that right now a lot of people are at home, only non-essential, a lot of non-essential workers were given the order to stay home. But there still are a lot of people out there that we need as a country to do their everyday jobs for us to survive. So I want to give a couple shout outs to a couple people today. First off, being a good friend of mine named Corey Freed. He actually works for hospitals and goes around to different hospitals around the country and helps them with, working on blood and things like that. I don't know if I'm giving a very good explanation, but he's putting himself out there right now during this time, being around a lot of people, traveling around. So thank you, Corey, for everything that you do. Another friend of mine, Sam Yates, works for Marathon Petroleum Company, and what he does is he watches all the oil lines around the country as the oil is getting transported to all these different places so people can buy oil for their cars and whatnot. So he has to watch that and make sure everything is going smoothly, and if not, he has to kind of take the appropriate precautions. So thank you, Sam, for everything that you do. And lastly, a good friend of mine that I actually lived with for a couple years, Trevor Bauer, he works at a pharmacy. So he's helping people out on a daily basis, getting the things that they need to remain as healthy as they possibly can, putting himself out there with interactions with a lot of different people every day. So thank you to all of 3 of you for everything that you do, and that you're working to keep our nation going. So and there's a lot of people out there. I'm sure you all have parents and siblings and things that are still out there working every day, doing whatever jobs that they're doing to help us keep going here as a nation during these tough times. So thank you to everybody that's doing that right now. But let's get to day 8. So for language arts today, you were supposed to have read chapter 3 yesterday. If you remember, that chapter was kind of all about the new kid to their school named Rufus. And Kenny at first was really happy that Rufus was around because now he thought that Rufus would be the one getting picked on more than himself. But then it kind of had a change of fate, I guess you could say, and they actually became pretty good friends. But then one day, Kenny kind of did something, maybe a little bit unintentionally, but it really hurt Rufus's feelings. And then, Kenny, who the chapter talked about, hadn't really had any great friends that he could trust up to this point, kind of lost this friendship with Rufus. But we see that his mom really helped him out, and luckily by the end of the chapter for Kenny, that friendship kind of started back up again. So that was chapter 3. In your packet for day 8, you should have one of those tables. This is the 3rd one that you would have to do. On the top blank, I believe, is setting. Now, the setting maybe isn't all that important to this chapter, but you could make sure you write that down. For characters, we're learning more about Kenny, I think, every single chapter that we read. And I think we learn a lot about him in this chapter as well. Another character that's going to be kind of important here, especially early on in the book, is Rufus. So I think we learned a little bit about Rufus as well. So make sure you're kind of jotting down some details about both of those characters. Then lastly, the summary box should be X'd out. You do not need to do that since that was part of your assignments yesterday. And then lastly, you need to make a prediction about the next chapter. So go ahead and look at chapter 4. In fact, let me see what the title is for chapter 4 here. If I can find it. This is why you use the table of contents. Chapter 4 is called Froze Up Southern Folks. So I wonder if that's maybe has something to do with like chapter 1 with it being so cold out and stuff. But anyways, that's the first part for chapter 3 today. Then on your cover sheet, I forgot to change the chapter number. It should actually say chapter 3, comprehension and analysis questions. So you have those two questions, comprehension questions to answer, and then you have one question at the bottom that's more of an analysis question. Remember, I've said to make a claim, cite evidence from the book to back up your claim, explain that evidence, why it backs it up, and then lastly, have a conclusion there. So again, not a right or wrong answer. All I'm really looking for is that you make a claim and then you do your best to back it up from evidence from the chapter. For social studies, keep working on that journal. Keep working on that diary. Different things keep happening every day in relation to the virus that's in our country right now. So keep working on that, and hopefully this will be something that you can share in the future. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to email me. Use the Remind app, Google Classroom. Some of you if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to comment with some questions if you have them, and I'll try to get back to you. So with that, I hope you have an awesome Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow on Thursday with starting chapter 4. So have a great day.